Greetings, people of the world! Matthew back with you here at Navarro Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. It is day 78 for EDSS here in the Realm Reborn, and yesterday we completed our second of 2 days of mandatory training through the Marauders Guild in order to start taking the Advanced Warrior class training for the Lancer. And so, now that we've accomplished that, we've returned now to Gridania and to the Lancers Guild to speak with Guildmaster Wayne for what is well and truly his final challenge. And so let's go ahead and speak with him. He has a level 30 challenge for us entitled Eye of the Dragon. Wayne seeks your aid in assisting an old friend. Ah, I dare say you just might be the right man for the job. The guild has urgent need of a capable lancer for a mission beyond our nation's borders. Hear me out if you will. I've received word from an Ishgardian friend to the effect that he requires our aid. I would have you go and provide that aid. As you may already know, due to our ongoing conflict with the dragons, Ishgard has kept her gates closed to outsiders for some time. The occasional Dragoon on patrol duty is all about folks see these days. In spite of her self-imposed isolation, however, the Holy See has never failed to honor her obligations to her allies. It is only fitting that we answer the call and lend what assistance we can. To this end, we offered to dispatch a contingent of wood raiders with all haste, but were politely informed that they would not be welcome, much to our initial confusion. It was later explained that we are dealing with a matter of some sensitivity, best handled by individuals who are capable and trustworthy, yet unbound by allegiance, and who fits that description, save adventurers. Secrecy being paramount, I can provide no details as to the nature of the task. All you need to know will be revealed at the rendezvous point. Should you accept the mission... Yeah, what is this? Mission Impossible? This mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take yourself to the Observatorium. A knight by the name of Sir Alberic will receive you upon arrival. And so, that is where we go. Off to Camp Dragonhead, which is the closest place that we can get to reach the Observatorium. So, thank you Guildmaster Wayne for all your assistance throughout this Let's Play. Now it's time to head back to Kerthus, where we'll be spending quite a bit of time here, at least for now. Yeah, we'll be taking on a few challenges, but we'll also be making it a point to do some other necessary practices as well, which will include accessing Zemel Darkhold as to show that off and to get further grinding, plus also making the necessary practice to get the promotions for the Grand Company that I'm involved with. So, to the south we go, to the Observatorium, and to meet with Sir Alberic. So on a typical snowy night in Kerthus. Yeah, I love snow, and whenever summer's around I miss it so much. I'm just a lover of winter. I just do not do well in heat. Yeah, I'm like a dog in heat, as it were. Yeah, it does not work well on me at all. So, we return to where we started our journey here in Kerthus. We're coming to the place where we have the beautiful tower and where we needed the much vital information on the whereabouts of the Enterprise, which we ultimately got and received. But here, on our time in the Observatorium, we want to speak to a man named Sir Alberic. And he should be somewhere around here. This is where he usually hangs out. Yes, here is Sir Alberic, right here. Nice to meet you, good sir. Ah, you must be the adventurer of whom Yuan sent word. Greetings and well met. I am Sir Alberic Bell, Knight of Ishgard. The Holy See is much obliged to you for your aid. Time being of the essence, I shall proceed straight to the heart of the matter. The Eye, an Ishgardian relic of immeasurable wealth, has been stolen, and we have reason to believe that the culprit has come this way. So it is that we ask your assistance in its recovery. The thief has been identified as a man named Astanian, a Dragoon sworn to the service of the Holy See. You are true. The crime was perpetrated by one of our own, an individual in a position of trust and no little honor. You may be assured that a fate worse than death awaits him upon capture. Yes, traitors will be executed. My duties to the sea afford me little opportunity to travel far beyond the walls of Ishgard. I must confess to a grave ignorance of recent Gridanian affairs. I was told by a sentry that by the name of Logadanrel might have knowledge of routes of tapes by Ishgardian fugitives. I prefer to keep my identity a secret and thus would have you gather what information you can from the man. We must act quickly, for you see Estonian is... but I have already said too much. What matters is that we find our thief and the eye with all haste. When last sighted, Estonian was clad in black armor. Now go, and speak not a word of what I have told you to anyone. Well, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to do what needs to be done, so we need to speak with Logandrel. Or is it Logadanrel? Yeah, that's a hard one to pronounce for me. Yeah, sometimes French names even confuse me on their pronunciation. Yeah, I think Masayanella is rubbing off too much on me. You're favored by Ishgardian fugitives? Now that's a question I don't hear every day. You aren't plotting some unsavory act yourself, are you? No, of course not. I mean, I've gained the trust of pretty much every single house in Ishgard. Even if you will, I doubt you make it far. On the road, we caught a few fleeing to the North Shroud. What with Gridania being home to nearly as many Elazan as Ishgard, it is no easy task to identify outsiders. If you were on the hunt for someone, you could do worse than to visit Florental's spire in the North Shroud and speak with a man named Idristan. If any suspicious persons have crossed the border in recent days, he'd be the first to know. I believe we can speak with him, so why don't we teleport over to the North Shroud, since it'll take us less time, I do believe. Yeah, I could ride the Chocobo, but we'll just simply ride it back here into the Observatorium once we have spoken with Idristan. Because, yeah, we have to come back eventually. And so, back to the North Shroud. Let's mount my Chocobo and head on out. So let's go over to Florental's spire to see if Idristan, who we've taken a quest from before in the past, knows of anything that might be able to help us out. And why, that is one big massive fate circle. I can only imagine what would be going on over there. Let's just hope it's not something that can't be all that hard to handle for any adventures that come through. Alright, Idristan, we've spoken with you before. What do you have to say about a possible fugitive from coming in from Kerthus? Hello, adventurer. Yes, I'm the one tasked with monitoring those who would enter our lands by way of Kerthus. An Ishgardian knight clad in black armor? No, I recall nothing of the sort, and such a striking visitor would be difficult to forget. My apologies, friend. I can only suggest that you turn to Logdanrel and see if he has any other theories. Alright. And since the border is so close by, yeah, as I said, we were going back eventually, and yeah, it's not taking us that much more than a minute. So, running back across the border, back into Kerthus, back to the Observatorium, and back to Logdanrel. And we'll find out if he possibly has new information, as this particular lead has gone cold. Perhaps as cold as Kerthus itself. Yeah, I kinda had that one coming. Yeah, that's about as close to Chugga Conroy wit as I get. Yeah, I could not be that witty on my best day. Typically, because when I use, like, my family really likes insult humor, but and I really don't care for it because I generally get offended, but when I try to use it back on them, then they in turn get offended. It's like, well, if neither of us thinks that what we said to each other was funny, then it's obviously not funny. But they haven't picked up on that yet. So, over to Logdanrel, because we cannot provide him with the necessary information that we needed. No, like you say, most curious. Why, it is nigh impossible that the fugitive could make it this far without being espied from Florental's spire. Which leaves the possibility that your man is still in Ishgard. It runs counter to good sense. Would the fugitive not want to put a distance of grounds between him and its pursuers? But by the process of deduction, it is a possibility. The clans of Ishgard are not too kind to drifters and vagabonds. That said, there has been talk of curious smoke wafting from a cave east of here at night. Were I you, I might begin my search there. Well, let's see what can be resulted from this. So, examine the campfire, and yeah, it is directly to the east of us. We don't have to go southeast to go to where we need to go. Yeah, in fact, there's a cave right there. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but yeah, it is there. It's just that the fact that it's night gives us no real ability to actually see it visibly. So yeah, we would just want to run by all these XL because, yeah, they're not going to threaten us. But there is a perimeter to be breached, so that means we will have to fight someone. So let's do it. What do we got? 2 Tarok Matrons. And since I am 15 levels higher than they are, that means this will be an easy fight. And boom, gone in 3 hits each. So now that they're gone, let's go ahead and take a look at the campfire and see what or who might have been here. So having had a chance to take a look at it and wonder what's going on, descending from the skies. I do believe, yes, that will be the guy we are looking for. That Ishgard would resort to sending coin-stuffed adventurers after me? I know not whether to laugh or feel insulted. Yeah, show me your face. Or maybe you can show me this. The eye addresses to another? Preposterous. Yeah, show me your face. I'll pass the shard cross again. You can be sure of it. And so, whoosh, off into the sky. Back into the sky from whence he came. Yeah, we found our man, Astenian. So, the fugitive still is within the confines of Kerthus. Well, we know where we found him. So now we gotta let Sir Alberic know what we have discovered. Don't mind me, Ixal. Yeah, it's not like you can do anything without Garuda anyway. Her essence was taken a few days ago by the Garlean Empire, along with that of Ifrit and Titan, which is why we are taking the necessary practice of going after this enhanced warrior class for the Lancer. So, back over to the Observatorium to let Sir Alberic know what happened. Alright, disengage from the chocobo, and let's speak with Sir Alberic. A dragoon clad in black, you say? Tell me all that transpired! Indeed I shall. By the Fury! That the eye was choose another! Yes, what is this eye that you were speaking of? I had not thought it possible. In light of recent events, it would seem an explanation is in order. Yeah, I would believe so, and I'm using the wrong voice. The eye is no ordinary relic. It harbors the power of the dragon, which it bestows upon a single chosen soul, the strongest and wisest dragoon. He who is chosen is possessed of the power to fight our mortal foes, the dragons of Javania on equal footing, soaring the firmament as if it were an extension of the land. That man is known as the Azure Dragoon. Yeah, apparently to fight the evil dragons, you have to become a dragoon. Yeah, it's like Ric Flair always said, to be the man, you have to beat the man. Well, in this case, to beat the dragon, you have to be a dragoon. The Azure Dragoon is the light of hope for all Ishgardians, and the paragon of all dragoons. For this reason, you may imagine how it pains me to have to confess that the man you encountered, the thief, is none other than the Azure Dragoon, and that I was once his teacher. Ah, crap. Needless to say, I acknowledge myself accountable for Estanian's misdeeds, and mean to do all in my power to find him and recover the eye. But I cannot do this alone. I require your help, Edie. You, who have received the power of the Dragon. You may labor to believe it, but there can be no mistake. The soul of the Dragoon I bear glows in your presence, irrefutable proof that you are chosen. What I can ill explain, however, is the why of it. Never before in Ishgal's long history has the eye roused to more than one individual in a single generation, but it avails us not to cudgel our brains about it. The fact of the matter is that you are now a vessel for the power of the Dragon. That Dragon lies yet in slumber, however, and you must needs possess the means to wake it, the soul of the Dragoon. I would entrust you with mine, Edie. Like Estanian, I once ruled the skies as the Azure Dragoon, although that power has since become lost to me. It was simply by force of habit that I have hitherto kept the soul upon my person. I have no inkling as to why the eye has seen fit to choose a second, and an outsider at that. Yet one thing is clear, none can challenge the Azure Dragoon and conceivably prevail save another Azure Dragoon. You are our only hope of bringing Estanian to justice and reclaiming the eye. Of course, I do not ask that you do this unaided. I may be a Dragoon no more, but what knowledge I have, I shall gladly impart to you. For indeed, when the time comes that you must face the Azure Dragoon, not less than complete mastery over the power of the Dragon will avail you. That a perilous road lies ahead of you, I shall not deny. Knowing this, if you would still lend me your lance, I will teach you to harness the power that has chosen you. Go forth, my young Dragoon, and rouse the Dragon within. I look forward to your return. So the next Dragoon quest becomes available at level 35, but of course we're at 45. So yeah, we now have these two new abilities. Well, we have one item, the Soul of the Dragoon, plus we also have the Jump ability, the most iconic ability that a Dragoon can possess in Final Fantasy history. And so the Dragoon ability, the Dragoon Warrior class, the elevated Warrior class for the Lancer, is now unlocked. Your inner dragon grows stronger as we learn the Jump ability. Alright, so with that taken care of, now that we've obtained a Soul Crystal, we have to now equip it to ourselves. So, we now go from a level 45 Lancer to a level 45 Dragoon. And we'll go ahead and reassign the current gear to recognize myself as the Advanced Warrior class of the Lancer, the Dragoon. And since we are at level 45, we might as well keep taking challenges. In fact, I'm going to keep going until level 40, and then we're going to switch things up because we will still need to do grinding in order to get to the maximum experience level, which is 50. This is something that is required of you in order to just complete the game. So, since we have to do grinding anyway, we might as well just keep taking challenges wherever we can find them. So, let's take Sir Alberic's level 35 challenge entitled Lance of Fury. Sir Alberic would have you undertake a trial. It is pleasing to see how readily the Dragon stirs within you. You show great potential, Lady. A potential that may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Estanian is no ordinary Dragoon. Even when set against the legendary Azures of ages past, the man is considered second to none. Such is his prowess in fact that the day he was chosen by the Eye, it was proclaimed that Hardrath the Dragon's Eye had been reborn. I mean not to disparage your skills, Edie, but to pursue Estanian in your current state would be tantamount to suicide. As promised, I shall train you in the way of the Dragoon, that you might face Estanian as an equal. Before we commence, however, it is only fitting that you are edified regarding our origins. It all began a millennium past when our forebears resided in the southern plains in humble circumstances. The Fury, impressed by the spirit of our ancestors, decided it was meet that she make them her own. So did she appear before Hardrath's sire, a man of courage and integrity named Thordan, and bade him lead her people to the Promised Land, to what would become the great nation of Ishgard. Their journey brought them to a wide chasm whereupon Thordan and his people set to building a bridge. It was then that a dark shadow descended upon them. The great worm Nidhogg. Heedless of his own safety, Thordan fearlessly charged at the colossal beast. Alas, he was pushed into the chasm by one of his own, a man seduced by the worm, and fell to his death. Taking up his slain sire's lance, Haldrath hurled himself at Nidhogg, even as tears streamed down his face. The confrontation ended when the young man, his hand guided by Halon, landed a mighty thrust that prized at Nidhogg's eye. With a terrible roar of pain, the great worm took wing and fled, while jubilation reigned below. Ishgard's priceless relic is none other than the eye taken from Nidhogg that day. It is a veritable wellspring of dragon power. Even so removed from its owner, it can exert control over the hearts of men. Haldrath himself felt its malign influence, but his love of justice brooked no corruption, and he prevailed over the power, claiming it for his own. And so it was that the first Azure Dragoon was born. Being derived from a foe, the power of the dragon is a thing to be loathed. Yes, I know the feeling. But as Haldrath proved to us all, so long as our hearts burn with justice, we need not fear being taken in at thrall. Ah, but what is justice precisely? Justice assumes many shapes and forms, indeed, and none can say that one is greater than another. So long as you hold fast to your beliefs and stay true to yourself, you leave no room for the power of the dragon to master you. But enough of history. Let us return our attention to the present. A knight by the name of Sir Bruce Malt will see you to the next stage of your training. Seek him out at Witchdrop. And so that's where we go. Oops, nope, that's the wrong one. Yeah, okay, yeah, now my abilities have been moved. Yeah, my abilities have been changed, and for some reason I no longer have the Chocobo ability in my correct slots. So you know what, I'm gonna readjust my abilities so as to accommodate my needs, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we have the set of the commands back to what I would prefer them to be. I have done some minor alterations, but for the most part, they're pretty much what I want it to be at this time with what we're going to be doing now. So, let's speak with, well, we've already spoken with Sir Alberic, so let's go ahead and speak with Bruce Malt, who's going to be the north. Yeah, that's strange that you're forced to reset and rechange your commands when you take on the advanced warrior class. But we dealt with it quickly, so we can move on. Yeah, but that is something that's Square Enix should deal with in an update. So, off to the north we go. In fact, we could have just as easily teleported to Camp Dragonhead by use of the warp. In fact, I'm going to even make it a point to... Well, actually we can't do it until we actually get there. So yeah, let's just keep riding the Chocobo. Let's keep riding the Chocobo. Yeah, we can't do it until we actually touch the crystal, but yeah, I was going to set the crystal here at Camp Dragonhead as the home point, since we are going to be here for a little while. So, let's do that before we continue with anything else. Alright, disengage from the Chocobo, and set this as home point. Now that that's taken care of, continuing on. Alright, so away we go. Yeah, we want to go, well, theoretically we want to go over here, but as you can see, I'm running past the icon. You know, Witchdrop is the Giant's Chasm, and so we have to plummet down into it. Alright, so now let's find the man we're looking for. And it looks like we're gonna have to fight off some enemies to get to him. That is if they do engage us. But it doesn't look like they're going to, which is fine by me. So let's step up, and speak with Sir Bruce Malt. So, the adventurer seeks to become a dragoon. Ha! Sir Alberic speaks of legends and shows and wands, but I would see you prove yourself in a more practical fashion. With your lance, defend yourself. Yeah, so now we have to take on a trained enemy, which is in this case one of these things, a Death Gaze. But since I'm at level 45, this is nothing that I can't handle. This will go by very quickly, and let's drop the jump ability as well while we're here. Yeah, you take flight and you do a basic attack that does greater damage. The dragon within stirs, resonating with the soul of the Dragoon. Alright, now that we've taken care of that, let's speak with Sir Brucemont again. You have some skill, and I will give you that, and the glow of your soul crystal. Perhaps Sir Alberic was not wrong about you after all. Now return to him. Your training here is complete. Yeah, it's just that easy. One enemy down, we're moving on. Now all we have to do is find a way out of here, while avoiding the Vodoriga. Why am I having such a hard time with pronunciations? It bewilders my mind. Like, how come I be having this much trouble with pronunciations? Anyway, we've escaped from there. So that means we now have to go back to the Observatorium. And so away we go. Having left from Witch Drop, we can now run back to where the Observatorium is. All while enjoying the awesome Chocobo riding music. I mean, let's face it, it is awesome music. In fact, I could have just as easily since the... Yeah, I only realized these things until after it's too late to do them. But yeah, I could have just as easily used the return ability to warp out of the chasm, Witch Drop, and come back to Camp Dragonhead, then ride my Chocobo back to the Observatorium. Yeah, it's always one of those things that I don't realize that I could have done that until it's too late. And that seems to happen a lot for me. Like, I realize that there could have been a more effective and efficient way to do something, but it's only until after it's too late that I realize that I could have done that. So, with the beautiful snow on the ground, we get to go back to where the Observatorium is based. And let Sir Alberic know that we have completed his level 35 challenge. So, back to Sir Alberic. Disengage from the Chocobo and speak with him. The soul of the Dragon grows ever stronger within you, Edie. Clearly your trial was a rousing success. I need only observe your crystal to know as much. Yes, though you have only just begun to walk the path of the Dragoon, it is clear you possess the talent to become Estanian's equal. Go forth and make the powers you obtained your own. When the time is right, we shall proceed with your training. Well, we're going to be doing that right now. Because with this task now completed, we get to add a second ability for the Dragoon. We now gain the Elusive Jump. This ability allows you to get out of danger really fast if an enemy is about to use its special ability and you're either right in front of it, or if it's doing like a widespread range special ability that can hit on all sides. You can use the Elusive Jump to escape as best as you can, and more often than not, it is very effective. So let's speak with Sir Alberic again and take on his level 40 challenge entitled Unfading Skies. Sir Alberic would send you on your next trial. You grow ever stronger, and I speak of more than just the flesh. You are slowly but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It is heartening to look upon, though I must confess that my presiding feeling is one of relief. You must understand, the mere thought that the eye will choose an outsider, one who ill comprehends the threat posed by dragons, filled me with the gravest of misgivings. Yet you have... but I shall say no more, lest flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you regarding the origins of dragoons. You will recall how Hard Wrath heroically triumphed over the Great Worm Needhog, and each god came into possession of the eye. Tell me, Edie, do you believe that these events truly transpired? Or are you inclined to think them fairy tales? I ask you this because few folk have seen dragons in the flesh besides we Ishgardians, and most would soon dismiss them as products of the imagination. Alas, dragons are no less real than you and I. Yeah, and I know of one that could be using a slaying right now. In fact, we already slayed him back on day 70. With Nidhogg perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time the Great Worm rouses, the blood of countless Ishgardians is spilled. Let us revisit the past once more, Edie. The time is 20 summers past, and the place Giovannia. After a century in slumber, Nidhogg awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the Great Worm's unbridled rage, others of his kind began to rouse, and in such numbers as to blot out the sun with their wings. A deep, foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard. Raging infernos painted the belly of the sky an angry red, the agonized screams of innocents fading into deathly silence. In my station as the Exarchar Dragoon, I was there through it all, bore witness to all the horrors. But there was no time to offer even a silent prayer. Nidhogg lingered in one place only, long enough to lay it to waste, and when he took wing, so did I pursue him, a man possessed. This game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed an eternity before I found myself face to face with the Great Worm. The battle unfolded in a tiny settlement on the edge of Kalthus, raging on for 3 days and 3 nights with neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Remaining on my feet by sheer force of will, I realized that it must end now, else it wouldn't end well. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I wagered all on a single thrust. My lance struck home, burying deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Yet before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh insensate. In that instant, I thought myself surely doomed, but Hanlon was not finished with me. Having lost the taste for battle, Nidhogg let loose a blood-curdling roar before fleeing to the sky. The battle was over. While I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the Dragoon, and I was Azure Dragoon no more. Lying bedridden, my thoughts wandered to all the innocent lives that had been lost, the people I failed to protect. That last conflict with the dragons of Giovannia left countless orphans in its wake. Estenian is one of them, the sole survivor of Ferndale, the final village to suffer Nidhogg's wrath. And so now he's pretty much left with post-traumatic stress disorder, I'm guessing. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. I took Estenian as my own son, instructing him in the way of the Dragoon when he was of an age to learn. Yet I would not have you think me as noble. My actions were born of not of compassion, but of guilt. My guilt at having failed him. But alas, I have also failed him as a father, for what manner of man did I bring him up to be? A thief who would endanger the life of every one of his countrymen. Ah, you heard me right. All of Ishgard may suffer for his crime. Though we know little and less of the minds of dragons, it is conceivable that the disturbance surrounding his stone and I will arouse Nidhogg to awaken once more. That his kin have already stole from their slumber serves as fair warning of that. Time is not on our side. Fortunately, it would seem you are more ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Wishrop where the knight Hustenian awaits your arrival. My nation is depending on you, Edie. I'll see what I can do. And so, to the next challenge. Which means, hold on. Using the return ability. Using the return ability, yeah. Fool myself once, shame on me. Fool myself twice, not happening. Not happening. Alright. Let's summon my Chocobo and ride. Back to the crevasse known as Witch Drop. And this time, we're going to a different part of Witch Drop. We're not going directly north, we're going to the east portion of it. Now, Witch Drop is 2 different chasms that are connected to each other. And so it is in this circumstance that we head off to the east to speak with Hustenian. Or would it be pronounced Hustien? Because yeah, I know there's a city in France known as Saint Etienne. And I'm guessing it would be the same pronunciation. Ow. Yeah, it would be a similar pronunciation. Hustien. As opposed to, yeah, the other one. So yeah, I'm gonna wait it out to recover my health and then we'll speak with Hustien. And get to enjoy the awesome music of Kerthus while we're at it. And besides, I imagine I've got to get through you anyway. Vodorga. So let's simply get you out of the way so that you're not giving me any trouble. And gone. Alright, off to Hustien. Is this a female knight? Yeah, it does look like it. You are the one who would aspire to be an Dragoon? Why, you are not even of Ishgard. If you truly possess the power that Sir Albrecht sees in you, then prove it to me with your lance. En garde! And so, yeah, we've had this problem before. This time we're taking a fight to them. Yeah, we're taking on 5 little minis. 5 little mini enemies to take on. And a big one. Big one to join them. But let's get rid of the stragglers first, yeah. Let's eliminate the stragglers, and then we'll fight the big man. We'll take on the big scorpion. And so far I'm not doing all that bad. Everything is working out as it should. I mean, it has to run 5 levels ahead of where I need to be. Oh, I'm not even fighting the little one. Yeah, it took me a moment to realize, no, you're not on the correct target. Now we fight you. Now we fight you, now we eliminate you. And before long, boom, you're dead. The dragon within stirs once again. And we are cured of the poison. Right, Hustien? For strength! I have not seen it like Estanian himself stood before me. Mayhaps Sir Albrecht has the right of it after all. Return and show your crystal to him. I have no doubt he will be pleased. And so, away she goes. So I will meet you guys back over at the observatorium and speak with Sir Albrecht, so be back in a moment. Okay, back at the observatorium and back at Sir Albrecht. Let's talk to you again. You are passed yet another trial with flying colors, Eddie. The day when you may stand before Estanian as an equal is not far off. And when that day comes, the Isle will choose you over their shredder. I have no doubt of this. But we must be patient still. For now you must continue your training. When you can do no more on your own, seek me out once more. And so, that task is completed. We get the experience points, plus we also gain another ability for the Dragoon. In this instance, we earn the ability Spine Shatter Dive, which when used against an opponent will temporarily stun them. So yeah, that's a pretty good ability. So we'll take on, because I pretty much think I know what the next challenge is through Sir Albrecht, and it will be something that I can take on once I get myself to 50, because of course I have to get myself to 50 in order to complete the maximum rank for my advanced warrior class. So that will be done in the future, but tomorrow we'll start focusing on side quests and necessary grinding in order to advance ourselves further as far as experience levels are concerned. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will make use of our available task to go to the Duty Finder, to go to Zelmel Darkhold, and show it off to you and see what it's all about. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.